Imagine this: it's a hot summer night and you're at a concert, shouting and singing along with thousands of other excited fans. But as you look up at the stage, you see your idol, the legendary Elvis Presley, collapse right in front of your eyes. That's exactly what happened back in 1956, and it shocked the world. Elvis, the king of rock and roll, was at the peak of his career with a massive fan base of young women who adored him. His star was rising and he was busier than ever. But all that success and the relentless pace of his life were taking a toll on his health. In the first half of 1956, Elvis performed an incredible 122 shows. That's a lot of energy and enthusiasm, even for someone with his talent and charisma. But after a show in Jacksonville, Florida, in February, things took a turn for the worse. Elvis fainted and collapsed in the parking lot, and people had to call an ambulance to rush him to the hospital. The doctors at the hospital were worried. They diagnosed him with extreme exhaustion and wanted him to take a break and rest. But true to his image as a strong and committed performer, Elvis refused to stay in the hospital. He had a reputation to uphold and promises to keep. Elvis' dedication to his fans was admirable, but it also meant that he prioritized his work over his health. Around his friends and associates, Elvis tried to downplay the incident, acting like it was no big deal. He didn't want to seem weak, especially not in front of others. In a private moment with Red West, a member of the Memphis Mafia, a group of Elvis friends and associates, Elvis even claimed he faked the collapse. He said he just wanted to rest his head on singer Anita Carter's lap. But deep down, Elvis knew the truth: the fast-paced life on the road was catching up with him. Elvis' insomnia, which he had struggled with his entire life, was making things worse. The nonstop touring, television appearances, and adoring fans had left him with little time to rest. The pressure was building, and even national news outlets were starting to notice. In an article titled "Who the Hell is Elvis Presley?" published in Cabaret magazine in August 1956, writer Leonard Bennett described Elvis as someone who doesn't smoke or drink, but he doesn't eat much either. He cannot sleep. He's collapsed several times. Doctors marvel at how he's still standing. His exhaustion is so great. Despite the concerns for his health, Elvis achieved his main goal, providing a stable home for his parents, Vernon and Gladys. In the spring of 1956, he bought his first home, a beautiful ranch-style house in a well-off area of Memphis on Audubon Drive. It had 4 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms and was a far cry from the rented homes his family had lived in during their time in Tupelo. At only 21 years old, Elvis had made good on his childhood promise to his mother. He'd bought them a big home and even got his dad some nice suits. The Presley family remained close, even though Elvis was often on the road. Despite his hectic schedule, he made sure to call home often, and his parents were always on his mind. Gladys, in particular, was becoming increasingly worried about her son's safety as his fame grew and his fans became more aggressive. She saw firsthand how the adoration of the fans could turn into dangerous behavior, with girls tearing at Elvis' clothes during his performances. It was a legitimate concern, and even local papers started to warn people about the potential dangers of attending Elvis shows. The Colonel, Elvis' manager, also noticed the changes in the fans. He described them as fucking animals, a stark contrast to the sweet girls who had initially become fans of Elvis music. Despite the growing concerns, Elvis continued to perform, often with his girlfriend June Juanico by his side. In August 1956, he had a busy string of performances in Florida, with multiple shows per day. June noticed that Elvis was showing signs of exhaustion, with dark circles under his eyes even after a shower. The relentless pace was catching up with him, and she feared he was heading for another collapse. Luckily, that August tour ended before Elvis could push himself too far. But sadly, this would become a familiar pattern in the later years of his life, with every tour from 1974 to 1977 ending with the same sentiment, exhaustion, and the fear of pushing himself too hard. Elvis' story serves as a powerful reminder of the price of fame and the importance of self-care. Even the king of rock and roll couldn't escape the consequences of his busy schedule and the adoration of his fans. It's a cautionary tale for all of us to remember to take care of ourselves, no matter how exciting and busy life gets. So the next time you're singing along to an Elvis classic, remember the sacrifices and struggles he faced to bring his music to the world. And maybe, just maybe, give yourself a break too, you deserve it,